Hey you, it's CovertGoBlue, and they did the reveal stream, and there is a one ring. A one of one. There is a card that is going to be out there in a pack somewhere. To be clear, they said English collector boosters. That there is only one of. And it is a ring. It is the ring that was revealed yesterday. If you watched the video yesterday, we talked about the card and what the card does. This is about a collector's item. A collector's item unlike anything Magic the Gathering has ever really had. I mean, you could say that there might be like a one of one somewhere that was like a play test of a Black Lotus in the pre-alpha or whatever, but not really. No, this is the one, baby. The one of one ring. So, first of all, they made a whole bunch of like elf rings, which are there's like elf rings, dwarf rings, human rings, and these are in Elvish, which is kind of cool, interesting that it has a very specific language. Somebody will comment below exactly what it is. For the record, on Tolkien stuff, I read the books when I was a little kid. It's been like 30 years. I've forgotten most of it. I definitely watched the animated Hobbit and Return of the King a lot as a kid. And I watched Lord of the Rings a lot in theaters and then at home. Extended editions and normal editions. Nowadays, I usually just watch the normal because time is of the essence. I listened to the Silmarillion on audiobook. I wouldn't say I am good at the deep lore. I definitely have forgotten more about the Silmarillion than I've remembered. But as a fan, I'm not mega deep on everything going on. I did know that there were 3 rings for the Elven Kings under the sky. These are all, by the way, soul rings. So they are numbered, and that it's 1 of 300 for the elves, because there were 3 elven rings, but for some reason they move it up to 300, I guess, just to get them in more hands. So that's going to be the second rarest thing. And then there is the dwarf ones are 1 of 700 or numbered of 700. And then for humans, it's 0 of 900. So in descending rarity, the one with the dude with the crown, then the one with the dwarf hand putting it on an anvil, and then the elven one with the tree coming out of it. So if you're looking for rarity, there's that stuff. Double rainbow foil serialized. Double rainbow foil, okay. But there's also 9,000 that are non-foil, non-serial, so no number. So you can still just open these in packs. Like, it might just not have a number, and the number ones are rare, and they look shinier. You with me so far? Anyway, they did all this leading up to somewhere in the world is a freaking Willy Wonka golden ticket. The one ring, a 1 of 1, numbered, foiled card. That's going to be in an English language collector booster somewhere in the world. What is it going to be worth? That's always the first question that pops to mind, because like it or not, that's kind of how our brains are conditioned to work. What will this card be worth? Will it be the most valuable Magic card of all time? It's literally worth whatever the person with the collector with the most money is willing to pay. We've seen some pretty amazing numbers. I believe we talked about, I believe it was said, I didn't look all this up before hitting record, so if I get something wrong, just correct me in comments. Post Malone, like $800,000 for a Black Lotus, like a really minty looking beta Black Lotus, I think. Was that Post Malone or is that somebody else? I know Post Malone bought a very expensive card. I know that something sold on like maybe an eBay auction for that much. So that's what we're talking about as far as the most expensive Magic card sales ever recorded. What is somebody willing to pay for this? Because one thing that's absolutely true, there are people out there with way too much money, more than they know what to do with. And they, like someone out there, a big Magic fan, could pay an absurd amount for this. And that would make it probably the most valuable Magic card of all time. And it also, you know, gets people in their head, well, if I open one of these English collector boosters and I pop this one, what would I do with it? What would I do with it? I talked on stream how for the content, I would get I would take a journey to Iceland. I would climb a volcano and I would cast it into the fire. That would get some views, wouldn't it? Fortunately, I'm not going to open this. Am I? But yeah, what would you do? What would you do if you opened this? There's also this, like, oh man, there's this weird thing of like, could it end up in a landfill? That's a whole story we didn't really cover. A lot of unopened booster packs apparently end up in landfills. A lot of Magic card collections end up out in the garage, just kind of getting damaged by moisture and eventually being lost and forgotten forever. End up in garage sales, end up in storage wars, lockers, right? Somebody's kid, like somebody could just buy this at Walmart, take it home, open it. Somebody's kid is just playing with this unsleeved. Pictures getting played with unsleeved. Oh, if you want to have nightmares, right? That's a thing that you could do. I joked in yesterday's video, or I guess it was earlier today's video. I joked about like a special rarity that I'm surprised they didn't create a special new mythic rarity for this. Well, Wizard said, hold my beer. They were way ahead of me. This is as rare as it gets. Should this kind of thing happen? It does add a straight up lottery feel to collector boosters now. You'll always be revealing that last card very carefully. But I mean, this card will probably, like, there's a very good chance this card is just never found. A collector puts a box of like Lord of the Rings in the back of their warehouse, you know. Rudy, Alpha Investments, just has this in a warehouse somewhere for 50 years. People open it so far away from now, so long from now, that they've kind of forgotten what it even could be. People don't even know what it is. There's so many potential possibilities of what could happen to the One Ring, but the fact that it's out there, and does the person who open it even, like, let's be honest, like, we like talking online and posting things online. A lot of people like content and content creators. A lot of people want to be content creators, and a lot of people just post things on Twitter. There's plenty of people who post their breakfast on Twitter, but the odds of the person who opens this actually being like public like that, going on Twitter and saying, hey, I got it, is very low. Now, the collector who pays up for it might. The collector who kind of gets it on the first time it's auctioned or something, or if it's sold privately. But we may never know what happens to this card. And for that reason alone, it adds a weird mystery around this whole set. I'm kind of like, it feels bad that we may never know what happens. Like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, we know kind of that the 5 are found. We also saw the frenzy of people trying to find it. And I don't know if we'll see that for these kind of collector boosters as somebody just digging for the ring. But like, we'll probably never know. Like, who did Mr. Beast? Was it like $500,000 would give to somebody playing Magic Arena? Did we ever find out who won that? I don't think so. The idea that this might just surface years from now and be a thing, be a whole story again, I'll definitely do a video when we find it. So you out there, I mean, maybe it could be you. I don't know. Find the One Ring. Please let me know if you do. I want to make a video. I'd love to spoil it. Release it to the world. This is unbelievable. And this will probably be the most expensive Magic card ever created. And I don't know if it will ever see the light of day. I don't know if we'll ever know what happens to it. Crazy. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. You're cool.